Big film at the moment, and I think, if memory serves me rightly, the singer Hounsou has done the song for this film you're about to talk. That's my one bit of knowledge about this new Tarzan film. Hounsou has done the song from it.
I was glad, though, but it wasn't Phil Collins, because if you remember...
Yes.
The original Walt Disney one, what came out about...
Mid-90s, late 90s, yeah, I remember.
Phil
In fact,
Collins did the entire soundtrack.
I remember getting it, and it was all packaged up long time ago. I probably got it somewhere at home in a box, but I remember getting sent the song from it, and it was all beautifully packaged, and it was a Phil Collins song. It was good, though. I quite like Phil Collins, to be fair.
Really?
Yeah.
No.
Well, anyway, one of us does.
But it hasn't got Phil Collins in, which for me gives it an extra star. But it's The Legend of Tarzan. We're talking about Tarzan. And this stars Alexander Skarsgård. Now, you might remember him.
I've seen him play at the Euros this year.
Didn't he
play for Germany?
No, it was in True Blood. He gets his shirt off quite a lot. He played a vampire called Eric in Eric, believe it or not, in True Blood, and he basically ends up with his shirt off most of the time in this as well, as you'd expect from a Tarzan film. But this is a little...
yeah, well, there is slight issue with this, in that Tarzan probably didn't have a nice ready-ironed shirt to put on.
No
tie or
anything.
He's
brought up by apes and everything. You don't see apes doing the ironing, do you, really? Unless it's a PG Tips advert. But this is a slightly different take on the Tarzan story. So we're not seeing him growing up with the apes and going back and falling in love with Jane. That's already happened. So it takes place a little bit after the classic tale by Edgar Rice Burroughs, and it's all about him returning to the Congo, returning to the jungle, and trying to find out how he's actually going to save it from the Belgian king. We've got a little bit of a clip.
Keep your voice low. That them?
You don't want to do that, George. Kill one and the rest won't stop until they've torn you to pieces.
So how you want to play this thing?
Their leader will come down and we'll fight. Whatever happens, do not interfere. Understand?
Mm-hmm.
Promise me.
Can I check with Tarzan, by the way?
Yeah.
Do they, in the Congo, drink bongo?
I don't see him actually drinking that. He actually had some beer. Which is
there's a factual error in that film then?
Yeah,
in that case. Have you dropped a star because of the lack of bongo?
Yeah, I think so. They didn't drink it in the Congo. They had plenty of chances to. Samuel L. Jackson's in there. Margot Robbie's in there as well.
Who many people know used to be in Neighbours.
Yes, used to be Donna in Neighbours. But she's become a really famous actress. She was in the Wolf of Wall Street. She's going to be playing Harley Quinn in Suicide Squad, which is out next month. And it's also got Lincolnshire's own Jim Broadbent in there.
Slater from Only Fools and Horses, if you remember, to Hollenbach.
Of course. And Christoph Waltz plays the bad guy. And my problem is, Christoph Waltz seems to play the same character in every single film. He's always the bad guy. The poor guy's a German. He's playing a Belgian in this one, and he's a bad Belgian. So, that's it.
Have you marked them down on the basis that he doesn't do a Belgian? Do we know? I mean, I've been to Belgium plenty of times. Yeah. It's one of my favourite European countries.
Does it sound still like Christoph Waltz? Does he sound a little bit German?
Now, you see, you've asked me that, but I don't quite know what he sounds like. I would say, though, anyone from Belgium doesn't sound like they're from Germany.
No, exactly. And I think some Germans would... I think some Belgians would actually take some offence to a German playing a Belgian, and a bad Belgian as well. He's working for Leopold, and they're trying to reintroduce slavery and all things like that. So the CG is not so great in some cases, but some of it's really good. I mean, the gorillas and everything are fantastic, but there's one scene which you've probably seen in the trailer with a load of wildebeest, and it just looks really, really dodgy. But I'm going to give it 3 stars because I really did enjoy it. It shows a real beauty of what the Congo actually looks like. But I think Alexander Skarsgård and Margot Robbie are really, really good as Tarzan and Jane, and I think if it continues to do well, and it has done well, I hope we do actually see another one.
And has there been plenty of
yes, there is. There is.
Do they actually do that?
Not as good.
I'll never do that noise again.
Not as good as Johnny Weissmuller's original one, which is amazing. Which is probably the one but it doesn't say like Johnny. If the listeners remember Johnny Weissmuller's brilliant black and white Tarzans, which we used to have on the BBC, it doesn't say Ungawa cheetah at all. At all, which I was a bit disappointed in. But I'm still going to give it 3 stars.
Excellent.
And it's just worth watching alone for some really good stunts and everything in it.
Excellent.